For the last 2.5 years, I've done videos talking about love bracelets. It had never happened to me that it could loosen up on its own. And just as of last week, the screws on the love bracelet decided to open. Maybe you just wanted me to carry this message out. So I'm making today's video. We're going to go over 5 things not to do with your jewelry, especially your designer jewelry, so your jewelry can last long and stay new for longer periods of time. Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. It's Vivian again. I figured, why don't I share some tips on how to preserve your jewelry so in the long run you could present a very pristine and well-worn piece to when you want to sell it, or if you want to keep things very new in your collection. Remember not to do these 5 things, and they're very easy to achieve. It just needs a little bit of reminder and caring. I believe your collection is going to look really good in the long run. This is the first video that you're watching. My name's Vivian. I run the channel of My First Luxury, and on the channel I do a lot of luxury reviews, insights, and of course unboxings. So if that's the area of topic that you're interested, I would love if you join the channel and also give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into the topic. The very first thing I think you should not do is to not stress them. Yes, you should not stress your jewelry, and by that I just simply mean do not take them on and off too often. Obviously these tips apply to designer jewelry, which we paid a lot of money for, so you want to give the best care to them. And taking it on and off for pieces like the Cartier love bracelet or Just on Clue is not going to do you any good. These mechanisms are designed to stay in lock, so the more you take them on and off or open them, it's going to loosen up quicker. For the last 2.5 years, I've done videos talking about love bracelets. It had never happened to me that it could loosen up on its own, and that had been my experience with it. And just as of last week, the screws on the love bracelet decided to open. Maybe you just wanted me to carry this message out. The 2 screws on the love bracelet actually loosened to a point where the hinge opened up. And I was worried because at first I just felt a little pinch on my wrist and I go, what is it? And I look at it, literally these 2 pieces have opened up completely. So this is, I think, the 7th year or going on 8th year that I have been owning this bracelet, and it's the first time that it officially did that. So I do think taking it on and off has contributed to that, but obviously I've done it only in a reasonable amount of time, knowing that this is meant to be locked on my wrist. So just remember not to take it on and off often. Also with Just on Clue, another piece from Cartier that you guys are familiar with, are more prone to this problem, especially with the new mechanisms right now. The Just on Clue tends to open on its own right when you get it. At least that has been my experience, where I got the bracelet, I wore it for 2 weeks, and I already can feel that mechanisms or the closure opens up a lot easier compared to the original state. So I'm just here to remind you to not stress them, because as much as they're designed to do a job, which is to look awesome and also stay locked on your wrist, they can't loosen up. And the second tip is going to seem so obvious, but I want to remind you, do not expose them to any harsh chemicals. Obviously, while some chemicals can clean your jewelry, others can damage it. We all know all of these designer jewelry that you paid a lot of money for are most of the time, made with precious metal. We're looking at gold or diamonds and other precious gemstones, which are delicate and they're more prone to damage if you were to expose them to a longer periods of time towards something that did not like. And obviously chemical stuff are in that category. So one example I want to give here is if you are someone who works at, for example, a nail salon or somewhere that you're constantly exposed to these chemicals, I would suggest to remove your jewelry when you're at work, or at least wear something that you can cover it. If you were to use a lot of acetones around your hands, honestly, it is not going to be the most ideal environment for your jewelry, let alone accidents might happen. You might drop one on here and there, and over time it is just going to diminish the property of gold that is used on the particular piece. Sometimes glues can disintegrate as well, so chemical is really a tricky one. And obviously I'm talking about not exposing it in a reasonable amount of time. If you live in beach city, or if you're a beach person, you go to the ocean all the time and you wear your jewelry, obviously if you purchase these pieces from the boutique, you're going to be advised by your salesperson that do not wear these pieces to swimming or in a chlorine pool. as these chemicals can definitely contribute some damage to your jewelry to some degree in some time. So I just want to send that reminder to you guys. As you know, ocean water contribute damage and the overwearing of the materials that build the house over time that you see for beach houses, which ocean water can wear things down rather quick. So is maintaining your jewelry, and perhaps you can save some if you just have the right mindset going to it when you wear and pick out these jewelry. So be careful with those chemicals because you shouldn't expose them too often to it. Number 3 is do not hit them. I know this one sounds really silly, and most of us who buy these pieces do not think about you wanting to like hit your hand somewhere, but accidents do happen. On the daily, we all ding and like hit our jewelry somewhere when we touch things because we move our hands a lot. This is completely normal. Light scratches will happen. It is a part of, you know, creating that beautiful characteristics for your pieces, while at the same time you don't want to apply physical pressure to your jewelry. And I think if you are a watch lover, you're going to think this is a very familiar point. My background is also in luxury watches, and I know that strong impact can really damage a very delicate movement, and the pricier watches are a lot of times costing a lot of money depending on how complex the movement is, yet movement is very prone to physical pressure. So if you accidentally hit your hand really hard somewhere, or if something were to, you know, fly by and damage your watch, you should probably get it checked because it will affect the accuracy of your timepiece. That goes for jewelry pieces as well, as it is a very delicate piece made out of gold, which is soft. Any strong physical impact can damage it, and it's just a reminder that maybe you should be a little bit more delicate and softer when using your hands, touching things, working on things, just so your piece can stay in a better condition over time. If you have watched any of the in-depth Cartier playlist, you would know that I have gone like micro lens status examining these pieces, and you have seen that both of my bracelets that I wear very often have embraced a lot of scratches, and that is a part of the daily wear and tear. And honestly, if you just examine them with your eye, you most likely won't be able to pick up these superficial scratches unless you're taking it in an in-depth look with a loupe or a micro lens like I did in those videos. However, strong physical impacts will create bigger dents, you know, deeper scratches that are not going to be something that's gonna be taken care of easily. So that is another point to remember. The 4th point is do not forget about them. By this I mean, for example, I wore my Cartier bracelets on the daily, as well as my diamond studs, which right now I decided to take them off and give them a break and also clean them. So at the time that I wear all of my jewelry at once, they just have a little bit of light wearing. But over time, it's good to remember that you're still wearing them and they will, you know, store and catch dust, and also your bodily fluid, if you shower with it, you know, the shampoo, the products that you're using can travel inside of your pieces, because I remember seeing some gooey stuff catching in between the nail mechanism of the love bracelet as well as the just on glue. And with my earrings, I do remember to take them off for cleaning once in a while, because you shower, you wash your head, and those things are just stuck on your ear. Our skin produces new cells, and a lot of things will just be kind of stucking around in those little settings. So you definitely do not want to forget about them and take them out for cleaning once in a while to refresh the look, and also to check on the current status of your piece. Make sure that your pieces are aging properly so you can prevent bigger and worse problems from happening. Check on them once in a while, and also do know that the climate zone that you're in can play a factor as to how well your item ages. In the example of a leather wristlet from your watch, or if you have purchased one separately, leather is prone to mold. So over time, if you are just storing it in an environment like a safe, it might produce mold. And unfortunately, this has happened to some of my mom's jewelry. So storing it properly is kind of important. And also, if you live in a climate zone like, for example, Singapore or Southeast Asia, where it's a lot more humid, you definitely should be mindful when you purchase jewelry. In terms of watches, you might want to purchase rubber wristband instead of leather wristband because leather are more prone to mold. So I think checking on them once in a while is a homework that all of luxury owners should do, no matter if it's your leather bag or your jewelry or your watches. So do not forget that you're wearing these, and do take them out once in a while to clean and examine. And the last point is more of a practical tip. As I always tell people, do not make yourself look like a Christmas tree. I swear Kanye has said something similar to Kim when they were first together. When you're wearing too many focus points on yourself, you tend to lose focus because there are a lot to look at. Everything becomes a statement. So it's just a very busy look. And my personal belief is that less is more, and once you wear those statement pieces, you want to leave them as the statement as it should be and not add other accessories to mix up the look. So that goes for jewelry as well. This is more of a styling tip, so this is not to step on any of your toes. I think a proper style is always appreciated by people, and also it really is not about how much you wear, it's about how you wear. So if you have really nice jewelry and you want to display them and wear them joyfully, definitely pick the right pieces. I believe you have beautiful eyes to pick those out. You definitely have the ability or styling skills to make them look harmonized together. And I think it's more important that you're making a statement than trying to be the statement yourself, because there's just a lot to look at. I definitely was that person in my early 20s. I just loved buying a lot of things. I like to keep things busy, even though I didn't wear a ton on me. But now I learned to actually pick the proper pieces and wear them one at a time or a few at a time. So instead of, you know, the jewelry wears you, you should be wearing the jewelry. But I personally like a clean and fresh look, so your eyes kind of just goes to where it's supposed to be. When colors are coordinated, styles look harmonized together. And for example, if I'm wearing silver on one hand and rose gold on the other, I like to arrange them in the same category. On my left hand, I am wearing two silver pieces, which are very high shine, and it gives that white gold kind of silver tone look. And I think it pairs very well with my engagement ring and my wedding band. This hand is making its own jazz over here. Well, I absolutely adore my Cartier sets on my right hand, and I do think this appeals easier to your eyes, to any of our eyes. It's just like, okay, that is one tone, that is another clear, and this person is not wearing an overcomplicated style of jewelry. I do like a really beautiful stack. Personally, I think 3 pieces are perfect for my wrist, but if you have a skinnier wrist or if you like the multi-layering of accessories, I would love to see it and admire it. So if you happen to be wearing one of the golden caviar beads, make sure you don't forget to tag my first luxury so I can share it with the rest of my viewers. All right, those 5 tips are very practical, and also some of them come from a very mechanical point of view, just so that you're reminded to take care of your beautiful belongings and the pieces that you spend your hard-earned money on, like I do. We definitely want to preserve them in a better condition for long periods of time so that your money is worth it. And also, if you do decide to let it go, the price for them are going to be prettier than if you were to sell a piece that is not well taken care of. So those are the tips that I wanted to share with you guys today, from one jewelry lover to another. And of course, if you are a jewelry lover, make sure you join my first luxury, and also give this video a thumbs up because it really supports the channel. And any other tips that you think it's practical, feel free to share with me in the comment section below. And I definitely look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.